I went on a date a couple months ago. It was a pretty good date. I drove this girl back to her apartment. I drove her to the garage under her apartment. We started making out on my car like a Bruno Mars music video. And she's like a 10, and I'm like a 9, you know? So, fuck you. Been able to hook up with girls who are way more attractive than me, but every single girl has the same backstory. They just got done dating some lacrosse player, and they're like, you know, I don't need some guy with perfect teeth and piercing eyes and abs. I don't need abs. And then they fuck me, and they're like, oh, wait, I needed abs. It's like the end of an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It was abs the whole time. I didn't realize it. Now I'm stuck with the adventures of young Santa. So, I get a call from this girl the next day. Whenever I get a call from a girl I like, I sound like an 1800s gold prospector. I'm like, hot diggity dog, there's pussy in California. She's like, hey, I had a good time last night. And I'm like, oh my God, I had a good time too. She's like, yeah, I just got a question though. After I went upstairs and you were downstairs, did you get scared and take a shit in my garage? Apparently later in the night, someone took a shit in her garage. And when her landlord asked her about it, she was like, probably the guy I made out with, probably him, he has a garage shitting vibe. Like, I'm sure he shat in a garage that night, whether or not it was ours, who knows. But he's a garage shitter. So I told her, I said, no, I didn't shit in your garage. Let me tell you something, fellas. If you have to tell a woman, no, I didn't shit in your garage, you are not going to fuck her. Not in the history of fucking has there ever been. How did I meet your grandfather? Well, at first I thought he shat in my garage. I knew he was the one when I saw him pinch that magical loaf. Also, did you get scared and take a shit in my garage? Is that what she thinks I do when I get scared? Where I'm like, hey, great makeout, but now I'm in this garage alone. Oh, it's happening again. There's a weird thing that happened. I hooked up with this girl who could only fuck with the Weather Channel on. Yeah, I was like, what, am I fucking the ghost of a dead sea captain? I can only fuck with the Weather Channel on, and I can only get fingered to HGTV. The only way I can come is through macaroni art. Now turn on Nat Geo and eat my pussy. You know, I think men and women are both terrible for very different reasons. Like, if you meet a guy for the first time and he sends you 10 texts in a row without you responding, you're probably like, this is a problem. But like a guy, if we meet a girl and she's like real cute, you know, we get her number, we talk a little bit, and then we go home later that night and she's in front of our apartment and she's wearing a hospital gown and she's holding an American Girl doll head and she's like, can you help me find the body before the ghosts do? We're like, oh, she's quirky. She's quirky. She's like Zooey Deschanel. Give her a fucking mandolin and she'll work it out through song, you know? We come on too strong. That's our and it's romantic comedies. They've all fucked guys up. They've all messed them up. It's always like a guy who's like chasing a girl to an airport or showing up outside her window with a stereo over his head. Like that's not how you win a woman back. That's how you get someone to stop from leaving Scientology. Like you're never gonna hear a vows at a wedding where the guy's like, I remember the first time I laid eyes on Rachel. I was in a bush outside her apartment. I had been asking her out for about 6 months straight. She finally agreed to an 11 a.m. meeting with me at Panera Bread, during which She told me she wasn't ready to see anyone right now. She needed to focus on herself. Well, turns out from the 16 social media accounts I follow her on, she was spending a lot of time with this guy, Brian. I paid a private investigator. Turns out Brian didn't pay taxes from the year 2013 to 2015. I know somebody in the IRS. Brian gets audited. Now, Brian can't take her on this long vacation. He gets so depressed, takes a bunch of pills, kills himself. She feels terrible. That's where I swoop in. I build her self-esteem up, but not so much that she thinks that she can do better than me, and, well, we've been together ever since.